cheaper. No, that's not quality issue. It's luxury brand washing.
Hermès, you guys, it's time to show off your factories. No, I don't want to wait to go on YouTube and watch a beautiful documentary on. Show them off right here on TikTok. Let the world see. Okay, get like China. You gotta be ghetto about it. Just let people know.
I think this isn't just
De l'entrée où on me donne des morceaux de cuir jusqu'au moment où je vais avoir livré ma pièce, je veux pas qu'on reproduise un geste de façon indéfinie en se disant bon bah je fais toujours ce même geste et je pense que
Do Hermès next. And that's why we're here in the Highland Park Mall.
Italy, made in China, or maybe made in Chile. Oh yeah, that should be a thing, by the way. I have spent over $100,000 of my own money dissecting luxury bags, cutting them open, analyzing every stitch, every layer. Why? Because I had to know what made those bags so expensive.
Hermès, long hailed as the pinnacle of Parisian luxury, is now spiraling into its most embarrassing scandal to date. Explosive claims are flooding social media and news outlets, alleging that Hermès CEO Axel Dumas has been arrested after a barrage of damning leaks by Chinese manufacturers. And let me make one thing clear. This isn't a hiccup in the luxury narrative. This is a head-on collision with long-buried truths. For decades, Hermès has wrapped itself in mystique, flaunting heritage like a shield against scrutiny. But now, that perfect image is unraveling in real time. If this arrest proves true, it would mark a massive shift in how leadership in the luxury world is perceived. This isn't just about one man. It's about an empire of illusion being exposed for what it really is. The bombshell? Chinese manufacturers, the same ones Hermès allegedly relied on behind closed doors, are finally breaking their silence. These factories claim they've been churning out belts, wallets, and even the coveted Birkin bags without any recognition, while Hermès slapped Made in France on the labels and charged 5 figures per piece. And this isn't just some tiny error in labeling. This is a calculated betrayal of brand identity. Hermès sells the fantasy of old-world artisans, crafting each item under the French sun, needle by needle, stitch by stitch. That fantasy is now being dragged through the dirt. These manufacturers have had enough, and now they're showing proof. Videos, contracts, internal memos. This isn't just outsourcing, it's a high-level deception finally crumbling under the weight of the truth. What stings even more is the manipulation. Hermès didn't just sell bags. They sold the idea of heritage, exclusivity, and perfection. They built emotional value on the idea that these were products of elite craftsmanship, earned, not bought. If what these whistleblowers are saying is legit, and the receipts suggest it is, then that $20,000 Birkin is really just a rebranded export, manufactured on the other side of the world. Consumers didn't spend fortunes on just leather. They bought into a fantasy. They thought they were owning a piece of artisan history, not an assembly line product disguised with romantic branding. This should mark the death of luxury storytelling based on lies. If Dumas has truly been arrested, it could signal the fall of the so-called luxury monarchy. Let's not forget, Axel Dumas isn't just a CEO, he's a descendant of the Hermès bloodline. The brand is in his DNA. And if he's now in legal trouble for allegedly perpetuating a massive corporate deception, it's a symbol that even luxury royalty can fall. That kind of downfall won't just affect Hermès, it will rattle the entire industry. If someone with his name and power can be brought down, then no one at the top is untouchable anymore. And it gets worse. Instead of addressing the allegations, Hermès is reportedly hitting back hard. Word is, they've launched lawsuits against the same manufacturers, now exposing them, claiming defamation and misuse of intellectual property. But let's be real, this doesn't look like brand protection. It looks like damage control, plain and simple. Hermès seems to be trying to silence the people who helped build their empire. But these factories didn't just leak vague stories. They dropped receipts, contracts, emails, manufacturing records. And they did it in public, not behind closed doors. Hermès, rather than own up, is acting like the wounded party in a situation they may have orchestrated from the start. This lawsuit tactic reeks of desperation, and it's failing. In fact, the backlash is only intensifying. Social media isn't buying Hermès's narrative. The scandal has ignited TikTok, Reddit, and Twitter, and users are going in hard. The mood is brutal. People are calling out Hermès for being misleading and elitist. Side-by-side comparisons of so-called French originals and Chinese versions are everywhere. Consumers are digging through interviews, brand statements, influencer campaigns, uncovering inconsistencies and broken promises. What's happening isn't just a scandal, it's a reckoning. This is a moment of cultural clarity where the public is demanding truth over status symbols. The illusion is collapsing, and this time, it doesn't look like it's coming back. Consumers are finally waking up to the reality behind the luxury facade, a perfectly engineered system that thrives on selling exclusivity while hiding how the products are actually made. And for many, that realization cuts deep. Some people spent years saving up for a single Hermès piece, thinking they were investing in a timeless, artisan-made treasure from France. Now they're learning that same item may have come from a mass production factory in China, never acknowledged or credited. That sense of betrayal is exactly what's fueling the firestorm across social media. People aren't just disappointed, they're outraged. And once that sense of outrage takes hold, the damage is irreversible. Brands like Hermès have flourished by cultivating trust, mystique, and a sense of elite belonging. When that trust disintegrates, the entire empire begins to collapse. Let's not kid ourselves. Hermès is standing at a breaking point. These allegations aren't just messy PR. They strike at the brand's very foundation. We're talking about a company that avoids online retail because their entire model is built on scarcity and exclusivity. But now that carefully constructed mystique is unraveling, thread by thread, investor confidence is already wobbling. When your stock price is inflated by a fantasy of rarity and prestige, and that illusion is shattered by video proof of overseas mass production, it's not just a scandal, it's a financial hazard. If more evidence emerges, the impact could snowball. Consumers may pull back, resellers may panic, brand loyalists may finally stop to ask, what are we really paying for? If the only difference between a 5-figure Birkin and a $150 Alibaba lookalike is a logo and a marketing budget, then the entire pricing model starts to collapse. And make no mistake, this isn't the first time Hermès has had its hands dirty. Back in 2011, the company faced a shocking internal scandal involving employees running an in-house counterfeit operation. Yes, actual Hermès workers were making fake Birkins with real company materials and selling them under the table. On top of that, there's been a long legal tug-of-war over what even qualifies as authentic in the resale market. For all the tight image control Hermès is known for, there's clearly been a mess hiding just beneath the surface. What we're seeing now is not an isolated event, it's a pattern, a long history of deflection, secrecy, and image repair. Hermès has managed to avoid consequences because the brand name carried so much power that no one dared to question it. But the illusion has fractured, and people are finally seeing what's been there all along. These new accusations are shocking not because they're unheard of, but because they confirm the worst fears critics have been voicing for years. This Hermès implosion is a signal flare to the entire luxury industry. If a brand like Hermès, the supposed holy grail of craftsmanship, can be exposed for outsourcing and deception, then no brand is safe. That's why other fashion houses are staying silent. Louis Vuitton, Chanel, Dior, they've all built empires on the same myth: handcrafted perfection, limited supply, and elite appeal. But now consumers are realizing that made in France or made in Italy might just mean the final snap of a clasp, not the beginning of the build. The outrage isn't about global manufacturing. People aren't angry that things are made overseas. They're angry they were misled. It's not the outsourcing that's the scandal. It's the cover-up. The industry thought it could hide behind romantic marketing and decades-old reputations. But now, with factory footage, whistleblower accounts, and online investigators digging into every seam, those lies are being pulled into the light. This could spark massive changes across the board, from pricing strategies and sourcing decisions to the way brands advertise. We're at the edge of a transformation, a cultural shift that could redefine what luxury even means. This isn't just about Hermès or CEO Axel Dumas. It's about dismantling the fantasy the entire luxury market has sold for generations. For years, we were told luxury equaled heritage, exclusivity, and true craftsmanship. Now we're seeing that much of it equates to slick branding, outsourced labor, and markups built on mythology. Hermès pushed the illusion too far, and now it's crashing down around them. They're the cautionary tale, the first domino. The age of blind brand worship is ending. Consumers are demanding facts, not fairy tales. Proof, not posturing. If luxury brands want to stay relevant in this new era, they'll need to respect their customers and stop insulting their intelligence. Hermès might survive the fallout, but its reputation will never be the same. The spell is broken, and in its place, the truth is rising. This could mark the beginning of a more honest era in fashion, where prestige isn't just painted on with marketing dollars, but actually earned. And honestly, it's about time.